If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com. Or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
The Adam Carricker Show. Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You got Ja'Cory Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist. This time he beats the kicker and one more. DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome into Dump Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, comes Ticket weeknights at 6 o'clock, 402-464-5685. You guys can always join in through the Starter Heyman text line. Got plenty of things to talk about tonight. We do got Husker Hoops hosting Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights. That one tips off at 8 o'clock. We also got NFL playoffs this weekend. We got 4 games, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. Then, of course, college football national championship between Ohio State and Notre Dame. That one on Monday night. So we got a full weekend here for sports. A lot of the end-all, be-all to a lot of the football side, but we definitely got some more basketball we're excited to talk about as well. We don't got DeMornay Pierson-El quite yet, but he will be joining us relatively early in the show, so no worries there. If you're waiting for him, he'll be joining us shortly. So in the meantime, while he is out, though, I do want to go ahead and start previewing this Nebraska game versus Rutgers because it is going to tip off here at 8 o'clock. So I want to get this pre-talk in here before the game actually starts. All right, so Nebraska's still currently favored at 8.5 favorite, 12-4 record. The Scarlet Knights coming into this one with a really shoddy record so far, sitting at 9-8, 2-4 in conference play. If you put any faith at all into the ESPN matchup predictor, it does got the Huskers with a 78% chance to win this one. And then obviously Rutgers with 22% chance. The over for it is currently sit at 146.5. The money line heavily favoring Nebraska at negative 425. Plus 320 if you're feeling frisky and you want to go with Rutgers. This one's big for Nebraska for a litany of reasons. It's another Big Ten opponent. You're at home. Considering the way how these road games have gone, the one down there in Iowa, even you can throw in the neutral site game with St. Mary's. You won one at Creighton. That's been an interesting series. Whoever's hosting that one between Creighton and Nebraska seems to be the team that's losing. It's kind of going back and forth these past 3 years. But you look at how this team down the stretch, and then you can't leave out Purdue. You give Purdue over 100 points in that one, was pretty much over by the end of that first half. This is a game against the Scarlet Knights team, Rutgers Scarlet Knights team. They're sitting there at 9-8. Like, you have to win these games. You don't win this one, it really hurts you. Not only are you at home, it's a big win for Rutgers. It'll certainly help them out. They'd have to catch a lot more fire to make any sort of March Madness bid. But it's a game where if you're Nebraska, like, if you want to be the program that is taken seriously in the basketball world, like, then you got to start winning these games. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt with a tough road schedule. You're going to have to win some of those at some point, especially when you're trying to get into March Madness play with something better than an 8+, 9+ seed. You got to win some road conference games. And the Huskers have dropped those opportunities thus far. They got the road game versus Creighton, not a conference opponent, though. Iowa was a good opportunity, right? You led that one by 15 entering the second half, and you just squander it completely. Iowa gets hot from 3, but that's Iowa. You know they're going to do that. This is a 3-game skid for the Huskers right now. So this is a good opportunity for them just to get back on the winning side of the column. Hopefully some of their guys can be a little more consistent. The last game, Jawan Gary, a couple games now, really he's been nullified a little bit by what defenses is trying to do. There's a lot at stake here, but looks like we do got the one and only DeMornay Pierson-El hopping in the stream now. So we'll go ahead and plug him in, and we'll talk about this Rutgers-Nebraska basketball matchup. We got DeMornay Pierson-El. Like I said, he wouldn't be on here too late, but hoops, 8 o'clock. DeMornay Pierson-El. Before we get there, though, how's it going? What felt like a little bit of an early spring here on this Thursday night?
Don't jinx it. Mother Nature, she can be tricky. She can,
It's not a jinx. February's coming whether I like it or not. I can sing all the praises in the world about how warm it is. February's going to suck.
Yeah, but typically, January is kind of like, and then, February is just like, okay, hurry up and get over. So
yeah.
if we can get to February and all that hits, I'm cool with it. Honestly, a month of, that really wasn't, a harsh winter. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, beautiful. 35 degrees right now at 7 o'clock on January 16th. Tomorrow, the high is 51. And then Saturday, 23, Sunday, 14. Martin Luther King Day, nice warm 12 degrees for everybody out there. But we got a nice couple days, which is fantastic because there's a lot of great games going on this weekend. You can even, honestly, like this is a weekend, you can go out and fire up the grill and watch football one last time before the season's over, which is incredible. But let's talk about this Rutgers game real quick. I was talking about it before you hopped on here. They're on a 3-game skid. They really still need to claim a road win versus a Big Ten team. Obviously, this one's at home, though, in the vault. But still pretty important for you to lock that one down. Rutgers entering this one is 9-8, 2-4 in conference play. The Huskers are 12-4, 2-3 in conference play. Give me your quick thoughts on this game. We'll dive a little bit more into it.
That area, they have a lot of good ball players. They recruit that area. The Rutgers can be sneaky, and you don't want to let them, start on the right foot with you. They, as you said, they are 9-8. Their conference, isn't that good. And I heard you before talking about, taking care of the teams that you need to. Rutgers is a team to, when people look at your resume, they don't want to kind of, what happened with that one? When people look at your resume, they should, okay, you hit your marks, you did your assignments, you did what you're supposed to do. You took care of business. And Rutgers is a take care of business type of game, regardless if it's on the road or at home. It's a Big Ten opponent. You obviously, clearly, need to win. We let the Purdue thing go down. We need to start stacking these wins, in the Big Ten to, even push the record even more so to when people, look at your record, it's like, they might not be, or they might be, whatever they are, but they've handled what they needed to handle, and they've taken business, and they give you the benefit of the doubt of things.
Yeah, I mean, like the real goal, I think, of Big Ten teams, especially now with like you added Oregon, Washington, UCLA. UCLA was supposed to be a really strong addition. It's actually been struggling. That was Rutgers' last win. Their last game was actually versus UCLA at home, and they won that one 75-68. Some of the other teams that we're familiar with that they also played, they also lost to Purdue. However, the final score wasn't 104-68. For them, it was only 68-50. 18-point loss. It's crazy to make that one look so much better than what we did. But that's just the reality of it. They lost to Wisconsin 75-63. Another common opponent. They did lose to Indiana, but they had to play Indiana at home. And they lost that one by 10, 84-74. And if you remember, that was an earlier game. I think that might have been Nebraska's first conference opponent was Indiana, and they were able to take that one. So yeah, you're exactly right. And like the race is to 20. These are teams you have to knock out and win, because if you don't beat Rutgers, like you're going to have to scramble to find 20. 21, 22, you feel really good about your odds. But yeah, like if you lose to a 9-8 Rutgers team, you put
people
Rutgers
start scratching their head and looking at you kind of sideways, and then you get, the favoritism of a better team that has a stronger schedule that just, lost to an even better team, then that'll start to creep in. So handle business and everything like that. That way, solid on all fronts.
Yeah, because it's going to be a rough stretch here. And it's like that for every Big Ten team, right? So, like, obviously you got Rutgers at home. And again, like you can say X team, but if it's on the road in the Big Ten, it's just always a brutal game. Then you're at Maryland. You get USC at home, at Wisconsin, tough place to play. Illinois at home, but still ranked opponent, Illinois. So you got back-to-back ranked opponents between Wisconsin and Illinois. Oh, you get another ranked opponent, and you're on the road. You got Oregon on the road, then you're on the road again, still on the West Coast. At Washington, you get another homestand, Ohio State, Maryland. Then you're back on the road, Northwestern, Penn State. Michigan's good this year, 20 ranked. You get them at home, Minnesota at home, and Ohio State. And then luckily, you do get a chance for the Hawkeyes again at home. But, like, it doesn't take, like, a real basketball nerd to just go through that schedule and realize if you don't beat Rutgers, try to get to 20. It's a nightmare in the Big Ten, but this is the stepping stone that you kind of want. If you're Fred Hoiberg, like it's time to go ahead and make that leap. Like make some statement wins here. Are you worried at all that this Purdue game is going to have a little bit of a cloud hanging over their head walking into this?
No, I don't think so. Again, the team is better at home. They still have some stuff to figure out. The opportunity in front of them for the team, the coaches to take a next step to really be, I would say considered, is, the rest of the season. If you handle business the rest of the season and whatnot, people are okay. Each year you've taken steps, but you get other shots at some of these teams that you lost to, especially the ones in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think it's glooming over their head or anything like that. When they come home, they operate on a different level. So that's the equalizer. That's I get what you're saying, but they're playing at home. Like unless people come out with the flu or somebody gets hurt or something along the lines of that, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't really see it either. I'll be honest. Like this is a game where I feel good about the Huskers. Like even if it's not the best shooting night, that defense is nasty. And that's something that I don't know if Rutgers has really had to face yet outside of Purdue, but even Purdue doesn't run that same type of defense we do. There is one thing about Nebraska's defense that it is a little bit unique. You're not going to run into a ton of teams that trap as much as they do inside, constantly on the doubles. If you're in the corner, they're going to just load it heavily and really force you to make that skip pass. That's how Nebraska comes up with about 8 steals a game. Rutgers doesn't necessarily do the best job taking care of the ball. Also, defensively, they give up a lot of points. So I just think this is one, like if you're Nebraska, especially with the offensive woes, like good game, get your mojo back. You're at home. I think the vault should be rocking tonight, just kind of based on everyone around Lincoln. I'm already seeing some Husker gear, already seeing some people looking like they're heading their way down to PBA. So it should be a good one. I'll say this though, and then we'll jump off of Husker basketball. And we'll talk a little bit more some football. How big of a stretch is this though? Like we get to look ahead because we're not playing in these games, but you feel good about them taking care of business at home versus Rutgers. Maryland is a tough game because it's on the road, but it's also one of those opponents that you feel like you can take your chances and might maybe get that one on the road. And then you're at home versus USC. USC is a good team, not as good as you might think though. I like my chances at home. You have a stretch with 3 ranked opponents between Wisconsin, Illinois, and Oregon. And that 3-game stretch right there is like, that's to me is what's going to decide or crush the season. Because if you go 0-3, all you get left is more Big Ten road games, and then only a few home ones left. If you win those, like, let's be real, you're taking care of business. Like, this team's ranked, and we're not just talking like 25. They're probably sitting there as high as 15 to 10. How important is this stretch coming up? In particular, like these next 5 games to me are huge.
They're very huge. Especially with the ranked opponents. If you can get hopefully 2 of those, you skipping steps. You're ahead of the curve. Outside of the 3 ranked stretch, those are all winnable games. The ranked opponents will be tough, but I still like the chances, with the opponents necessarily, but before them, you know who they are. Some of those teams are new to the Big Ten, new to that type of style of ball. I understand that they're ranked, but a little bit different. We're a lot different on the defensive teams. I think this team plays better when accepting a challenge like that. And I know some of them are on the road, some of them at home, but that Maryland game, you got to get that one. It's like the Indiana game. It's an away game. I know we haven't, but it's like you have to set that one up. Hopefully they don't get too ahead of themselves in big picture type situations. Lock in, hone in on one opponent at a time. And you gotta pull out your axe like some lumberjacks and just get to chopping. You got to chop them down, one by one. And that's what it's going to be, for that stretch. And you come out of that with more wins than losses. You definitely set yourself up, big time for when people look at you and start judging, off of what you've done. You've handled, business, and you've taken some, even if there are some losses, if it's by maybe one of those ranked opponent, even if it's close, you played them tough. So it's very important. It's critical. It can get you at the seat at the table of where they need to be at.
Yeah, and you talk about that stretch in particular. Talk about if you even split the series, Lincoln's smiling, because if you were to just back to back ranked opponent stretch where you got on the road Wisconsin, at home Illinois, on the road Oregon, then at home versus the only unranked team in that 4-game stretch, Washington. If you win 2 of those games, that means you won 2 games on the road, one of which was a ranked opponent. And the other one, maybe it was at home versus an unranked opponent. But if it's not, that means you won 2 road games versus Washington, or maybe even 2 ranked opponents. So that 4-game stretch right there, there's a lot riding on it. But obviously, it's going to just depend on, did you beat Rutgers? Were you able to go on the road and challenge Maryland? And were you able to take business again versus USC at home? I want to ask you this because I'm curious why it seems so different. Like in football, the road is tough, surely, but it doesn't seem to have the same weight that college basketball does. And I don't know what that is, but certainly in the Big Ten, if Ohio State goes on the road, they're not going to struggle to beat Northwestern. If Michigan goes on the road and plays a bad Minnesota team and at Minnesota at home, it's going to be a tough game to beat Minnesota at home, despite the disparity in talent. What is that with college basketball where it really matters? But in football, you're not going to see the Giants go on the road and get beat so easily.
In football, it's a lot more physical. Like that's required with the game. With basketball, it's a lot more finesse. It's a constant pace of changing. That's a little bit different with football. You can really impose your will and bully people and really, hit somebody that kind of people don't like to get hit. You know what I mean? So if you're the bigger, the badder team and everything like that, unless you're at Michigan to Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? You just got somebody's number. And basketball is not like that at all. If you got a hot night, let's just say Iowa. If Iowa has a hot shooting night anywhere across in the Big Ten, they might give anybody a problem because they can score at will. Now, if they're not having if they're not having a hot night and whatnot, then it's just plundering. It's just a fast-paced game. It's boring. It's not necessarily exciting. With football, it's a lot more contact. If you're a bigger team, if you're a faster team, if you're a stronger team, if you're getting a better quality of guys and everything, that has its perks to versus a streaky hot team that's shooting real well.
Yeah, and I think even the roster size probably has something to play with it too. Like when you're talking football, it's hard to get the 11 guys on the side that's supposed to be better all to play at a lower level than they're supposed to. And basketball, 5 guys, you have 3 guys not show up that day for whatever reason, or they're just not themselves. Like, boom, there's, your upset's on the way because you only got 5 guys that you can start at once. And if they're not playing up to their level, like in football, you can have some guys not be on their top game and still get away with it if it's an inferior opponent because it's just, maybe the pressure takes care of the bad coverage in the backfield, or, the offensive blocking so good the running back can be 2 steps slow that day, and it doesn't seem to really matter. I will say, though, with basketball, is the Big Ten the toughest conference to play in right now, or do we want to give that to the Big East? SEC's really making a push in basketball this year. Who's got the toughest conference in terms of playing on the road in basketball this year?
I think it still relies on the SEC. The Big Ten's up there. They're one of the best. I wouldn't say the hardest. What the SEC has coach wise, of course, the Big East. You can say that they're kind of old sleeping giants per se, but the SEC, you got Kentucky in there, which I know Calipari left there, but Kentucky's still Kentucky. They still have players. You got Arkansas still being Arkansas, Alabama, still up there and whatnot. You have some pieces that you have to watch out for. You can even say the ACC hasn't been as hyped up as they have been because of, some great coaches have stepped away from the game. But you still have to respect it and whatnot. It still goes through, teams down there. I would say we're probably top 3, top 4, probably being 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I think, oh man, SEC is so good at basketball. it's upsetting to see SEC really starting to catch ground in the world of basketball too, especially what you're seeing with Alabama and then Auburn. What are they still number 2 in the country? Can't remember, but another highly ranked opponent right there. If you look at their home stands, yeah, it's gaudy. The worst team in the SEC is South Carolina, who is 0-4 in conference play, who is 10-7 overall, is still 8-3 at home. Arkansas, second worst, 0-4 in conference play, 9-2 at home. Oklahoma, 0-4 in conference play, 8-2 at home. LSU, 1-3 in conference play, 10-1 at home. That's the bottom 4 teams in the SEC. So I think
my goodness, oh my.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. And then obviously Auburn leading the SEC right now, 4-0 in conference play, 16-1 overall record, 8-0 overall. But despite that, still 2-1 on the road. So I'm sure one of those is probably a conference game that they lost. But yeah, it kills me to say, I think despite how impressive the Big Ten home stands are, like when you got the 4 bottom feeders of the SEC, all with 2 losses at most. South Carolina, 8-3. So 3 losses at home. And LSU with only 1 loss, like, says a lot about the strength of those home games for those SEC teams. We'll wrap up with this on this first segment. And then I do want to break down Notre Dame, Ohio State. Give me the conferences in order. Strength of conference. We'll do 1, 2, 3. We won't go through all the conferences in the world.
I would say probably SEC first.
Yeah, this year I would too.
You still got Duke, North Carolina, and leading that bunch. You got Notre Dame, so I would take ACC second. Who's all in the Big East? Still, I think UConn's out there. I know that.
Yeah, so in the East, let me just get
Georgetown,
all the
I think
how they're sitting right now. Yeah, Georgetown, Gonzaga. It's going to be a lot of that bunch. So looking at it right now, that's going to be. I can't believe we're blanking on those, but yeah, obviously Creighton, Villanova, St. John's. I said Gonzaga already. Marquette's in there. Seton Hall, Butler, DePaul, Providence, Xavier, Georgetown. That's your Big East. And right now it's Big East is down this year.
I would probably go Big Ten after that. Then you could throw the Big East up there. I'm trying to think of what Big 12 schools are kind of hot right now with basketball.
The part that sucks about all this is like there's so much conference realignment because now remember Colorado's in there. I don't think Colorado's good though. Let me pull it up. So Colorado, yeah, they're sitting there 0-5 in conference play, 9-7 overall, but they're looking at teams like Iowa State, Houston, Arizona, Texas Tech, UCF, Kansas, West Virginia, Baylor, BYU, Utah. Those
we're definitely beating that conference. Yeah, I got us 3.
I'm gonna go. Sucks, but SEC deserves it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go to the ACC, and then Big Ten. Big East is down though. I will say that. Big East is probably the most surprising one because when I just think of Creighton, Gonzaga, Villanova, like when I was growing up in high school, like those were the teams every year, year in, year out. Now, getting in my 20s, it's like you're watching Auburn, Alabama, and even some of these Big Ten teams seem to get a little bit of resurgence. So we'll wrap it up. That's it for basketball. We will have the Husker Hoops postgame, though, following the end of that Rutgers game. It'll be Austin Norman, me, Eric Strickle, and a combination of us 3 as soon as the clock hits 0. So if you want more Husker Hoops talk, be sure to stick around for that one. But we're going to talk Ohio State, Notre Dame, National College Football Championship on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Dumb Punt Hour with host, as always, the morning Pierson-El.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sand Hills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Husker fans, this season, Nebraska is celebrating 50 years of Husker women's basketball, and they need you to help celebrate. You've shown up for women's hoops from the start and continue to prove that Nebraska fans really are the best in the nation. On Sunday, January 26th, the Huskers face Big Ten opponent Ohio State, and they're calling on all Husker fans to help pack PBA so they can celebrate 50 years of Husker women's hoops together. Get your tickets now and be a part of this historic season. For event and ticket information, go to huskers.com/tickets.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylab.lnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hey guys, this is Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker and now League One volleyball athlete. League One volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with our first serve on January 24th, 7 p.m. at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Witness history in the making as we take on Love Madison in our first ever home match. Visit lovboma.com for tickets. First serve January 24th. Be there when it all begins. That's lovboma.com for tickets to watch Love Omaha volleyball. Go Big Red and go Big Green.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment, Don't Punt Hour. The host is always DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. You guys can always join in. Starter Heyman text line or any of these streams. All right, on Monday, we do got the National College Football Championship between Ohio State Buckeyes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Currently, right now, it is Ohio State still favored. Looking at the spread, I think it's still sitting at 9.5. It's sitting at 8 now. Or excuse me, yeah, it is favored Ohio State 9.5 in that one. Good morning, Pierson-El. Give me your thoughts. Who do you like in this matchup? And then we'll kind of dive in some of the more key factors. Who's got the edge and position groups, coaching, and all that fun stuff.
My thoughts are I hate both teams. I don't like them. I don't like neither one of them. But
I like one more than the other.
I hate them both. I hate them. I hate them both. I don't care.
Well, one of them's going to have to cut some of that check and send it our way. So I'm definitely rooting for one.
I'm not rooting for neither one of them, but I think Ohio State is the bigger dog, is the more dominant team, is the most complete team that they've kind of played thus far. You can say what you want to say about Indiana, quarterback blues. They were the better team against Indiana. Georgia was missing their starting quarterback. I don't know if that game goes the same way against Georgia. They won. Congrats. I'm saying that with Notre Dame. You're getting a fully loaded, fully healthy Ohio State who has had a harder way of getting to where they are than you. They're the most battle tested. I just don't think we've seen quarterback struggles for 2 games. You know what I mean? You struggled against Georgia. You struggled against Penn State.
Yeah, it was not good in that game.
We seen it with Texas. It was the same thing. You struggled with 2 games, and look what happened. Your luck ran out. I think it's going to be the same situation for Notre Dame with Ohio State. Ohio State has been operating on a different level. They were able to keep Texas, to what I think 14 points. Was it 14, 21?
They kept Texas to 14, yeah.
14 points, and Texas is a top 5 offense, and y'all don't got that for Notre Dame. So I don't think it's going to be fair. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it might get ugly quick.
Yeah, that's we talked a little bit about it on the previous show with Eric Strickland and Cluster Johnson. Like the one thing they pointed out, and I agree with, is like Ohio State, the one side they do kind of, which is a little bit unique for them, but the corners this year are a little bit weaker than what they're used to in the past. Unfortunately, that's not like really an area that Notre Dame can take advantage of because they don't really have the talent out there either.
Are their corners actually weaker, or is their D-line not typically what their D-line is?
Ooh, their D-line's nasty. Jack Sawyer.
Their D-line is not what any. If you go back and look at them first-round corners, look who was on that D-line.
Yeah, I'm just this defense. Like teams struggle mightily to run the ball, and like versus Texas, the part of it is those weak corners can get like that's that Jack Sawyer scoop and score. Like those edges get there, and Quinn Ewers doesn't have that completion rating. It's not even about the sacks; it's just the amount of pressures those edges get. Who's on the other side? It's Sawyer, and who's the other one? I'm blanking on it right now.
Couldn't tell you. I don't like them.
Fair enough. I'm trying to find it out real quick. But I know on the edges there.
I just know 91 clogs the middle. I think it's either 0 or 7 who's a converted safety to like a linebacker who's pretty much like a spy. I know he's big on their defense, and that's all I can tell you.
Yeah. Either way, I'm gonna take the edge for Ohio State on that one. It's just a lot for Notre Dame to deal with, and I will say it's like they didn't get really the best version of Georgia. They really didn't get the best version of Drew Aller and Penn State that day.
Indiana, they were lucky he didn't throw 3 passes better or 2. If he'd have thrown 2 passes better, it'd have been over for him.
Yeah, it really would have been. The game was like, despite it being one of the closer games, it was one of the worst ones to watch. It just like wasn't like super clean football.
And I don't want to say Penn State was a disappointment, because Penn State wasn't. The quarterback was a disappointment. James Franklin did what he was supposed to do. Abdul Carter did what he was supposed to do. The cornerback did what he was supposed to do. The running backs did what they were supposed to do. Offensive line did what they were supposed to do. The quarterback literally messed it up for Penn State.
They really should have just put the do-it-all man Warren back there at QB towards the end there, because it just wasn't. We talked about it before, so we won't dive.
He was having an off night.
Yeah, dude was just floating balls up there. He looked a little bit nervous, scared at times not to throw the pick, and as a result, just you were not getting completions either. Like, great, not turning it over, but you're also just, man, got to hit your receivers. But looking at Ohio State, why I like them, like this has been the road to pissed off for Ohio State. Like it just seems like after they beat Indiana at home, that was that 38-15 win. I don't know if they looked at Michigan, like it's a rivalry, so I don't want to say they overlooked them, but I don't think they were quite ready for the fight Michigan had. And that 13-10 loss pissed Ohio State off like something else. That's why I got all the confidence. You go after that, you just beat the living hell out of Tennessee, 42-17. You put a kibosh on the SEC. Should be more SEC schools in this college football playoff bracket after that one. That was a nightcap for that first round. Then you get the rematch for Oregon. You blow them out of the water. Doesn't matter at all. 44
obliterate them.
Yeah, and that 21 was a little bit of mercy there at the end there. Not mercy, but just kind of garbage time. Texas, we talked about 28-14. Wasn't necessarily a Howard's best day and the offense's best day, but the defense showed up. And
you still held them to 14 points, and you scored 28 points on a SEC top defense.
Exactly. And that's not the best day for Ohio State's offense is 28 versus Texas. But that's just kind of been on the road. When you score 42 versus Tennessee, 44 versus Oregon, not only 28 versus Texas. You're like,
you averaging 28 a game, just about like,
yeah.
That's what it is.
Like if I'm Notre Dame, there's no shot. Like how does the game got to play out for Notre Dame to pull it off? Like how do you see them getting the edge somehow and being able to use the momentum to carry them to a national championship?
Turnovers, scoring off of turnovers, special teams play. I mean, we've seen them do those things, So multiple turnovers, multiple or a few turnovers, like pick sixes or scoop and score, a punt return, kick return, a block kick for a touchdown. You're gonna have to beat them outside of just on offense and defense. Along the lines with Will Howard having a terrible, awful showing, which I don't think he will, because if he has, you can cut on his last games, and these last couple of games might get him drafted, way higher than what he could have been or was supposed to go. So you have to have a terrible showing by him, just an awful game. Like he doesn't even look completely,
needs to be like what Drew Aller was for Penn State. And Drew Aller's not on that level, but he was still a lot less of what he was throughout the regular season.
I think Ohio State's offense has to stall, or has to have hiccups. Like they don't look, they don't do what they have been doing throughout the playoffs. I think that gives them a better chance.
Yeah, that's the only way to see it. Is like the one thing about Howard is he will throw some riskier throws, and they're not necessarily bad throws, just really tight windows. But he throws such a bullet at times that's like, as a defender, you got to be on top of your game to go ahead and try to pick that thing off when he's throwing it that fast. He will definitely take some risk, but he does have good risk management. Like he's not super chaotic with those deep shots, but he is going to be willing to give his guys an opportunity to make some quote unquote spectacular catches. Like every Every national championship, it's like you need a couple of those plays that seems to really seal that momentum.
And I think for Notre Dame, alongside with all of that, your quarterback has to have his best game of his life and has to literally be, has to light Ohio State up. You have to make Ohio State's defense look, not Ohio State.
And he hasn't had a game like that yet. He's just dismantled the defense. Like Notre Dame as a whole has dismantled teams, but it hasn't been Leonard, their quarterback, just having a heyday, just cutting people into pieces. So this tough one. We'll go through the edges here on who's you like more on this side of the ball. Coaching. Who do you like the coaching staff more? You got Ryan Day or Marcus Freeman? Like, say what you will, like Notre Dame's almost likable. Not to me. There is honestly, people that like Notre Dame because of him.
Coaching outside of Chip Kelly. Coaching staff, I'm going to go Notre Dame.
Ooh, I don't know.
Regardless of whatever you want to say, there's situations, the quarterback playing bad and everything like that, you still get to a national championship. Regardless of the road and everything like that, we sucked as a whole on offense against Georgia. We still beat Georgia, still get to play in Penn State. We sucked on offense for a whole half against Penn State, really only the last quarter and a half-ish. We still beat fight adversity to still get our way back there to get to the national championship. Like it's a bit different. I understand, what Georgia, what Ohio State went through and everything like that, but that's expected from Ohio State. I don't look at them and be like, no, you expect that from Ohio State. What Notre Dame did and their coaches and everything like that, a newer head coach. He's been there, 2 years, I think?
Yeah, it's second year.
Second year, you doing that, that shows growth, change. This is the same roster pretty much that, Kelly left.
That's the same roster that lost to NIU, right? So he does more with less. If I'm going to give points to Freeman, I think he does a lot more with less talent. But I'm going to go with Ryan Day because I do think that experience.
You again, okay, put Freeman on Ohio State's roster, and what do you think he would do? So I
think they're probably in a national championship, but so is Ohio State. And that's why I'm going with experience. Like
Ohio State's, it's easier to coach Ohio State than it is Notre Dame, right
yes.
or wrong. All right, then.
Certainly.
So coaching wise, I'm giving it to Notre Dame.
Yeah, but I'd give it to Notre Dame if Notre Dame had to play Tennessee, then Oregon, then Texas, but they didn't. They played Indiana, a different type of Georgia team, and then a bad Penn State team. They shouldn't be in the national college champ. They should be. I shouldn't say that. They deserved it.
Penn State, bad Penn State. Penn State was the second team in the Big Ten. What do you mean?
I'm saying that was a bad performance from that quarterback. That made it very hard to win.
The defense did right.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a game where I'm leaning towards Oregon, Tennessee.
Okay, you get
those three games, and you're blowing them out. It's not even close. Like
you give Steve Sarkisian and Ohio State, they're still in the national championship. You give the coach, Georgia's coach, Kirby Smart, Ohio State, they're still there.
I know, but you're trying to make me penalize Ryan Day for doing exactly what he was supposed to do, which is get to the national championship.
I'm not penalizing that. I'm just saying that's expected with that roster. It's better, or it's a higher accomplishment that a second-year coach with a Notre Dame team that's not as talented, that has to work harder and everything like that, and the trials that they went through regardless, you could say, yeah, they lost to NIU. I get that. But also Ohio State, who's in the national championship, lost to a Michigan team that they shouldn't have lost to.
Yep. But that Michigan team at least went to beat Alabama. NIU didn't do that. But to Notre Dame's credit, they beat a good Texas A&M team. First game of the year. They did beat Army, Navy. Say what you say. They were ranked opponents.
You're giving coaching to Ohio State, which is the easy way out. I'm giving it to Notre Dame. Next group.
All right, Surly. Good morning, Pierson-El on that one. No, we'll throw it to break here. We'll talk more on the other side. We'll do QBs. We'll figure out Howard, Leonard, who we like, and then we'll talk about the defense and in particular the receivers, because one team certainly got a stronger edge there. All right, we'll throw it to break. One more final segment. Don't Punt Hour with Morning Pierson-El.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
We currently have a great inventory of homes that are completed or almost complete available right now that you could move in within 30 to 90 days.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
In Woodside Village, which is in Northwest Lincoln, catty corner from the new Northwest High School, we have available homes right now that start in the lower 300s. Sod, sprinklers are included, all your kitchen appliances, brand new homes ready to go. A very accessible area, easy to get downtown, easy to get on the interstate. It's just a great location. Our designer has selected incredible finishes that will amaze you. Available homes right now that start in the lower 300s.
Call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's Recovery Lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Husker fans, this season, Nebraska is celebrating 50 years of Husker women's basketball, and they need you to help celebrate. You've shown up for women's hoops from the start and continue to prove that Nebraska fans really are the best in the nation. On Sunday, January 26th, the Huskers face Big Ten opponent Ohio State, and they're calling on all Husker fans to help pack PBA so they can celebrate 50 years of Husker women's hoops together. Get your tickets now and be a part of this historic season. For event and ticket information, go to huskers.com/tickets.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, Don't Punt Hour. Shout out to Teammates Mentoring for sponsoring this show and a lot of our Ticket Weeknights programming. You can always sign up. Go to lincolnteammates.org. You can find out how to sign up to be a teammate. And if you don't have the time, there's other ways to contribute as well. All right, good morning, Pierson-El. Talked about it a little bit. Let's dive into some of the more sizing up who's got the advantage. We did the coaches, disagreed on that one. That's all fine. Quarterback, Will Howard or Riley Leonard?
Howard, ain't close.
You said and close?
No, I said ain't close.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. No, amen. I agree. This is a game for Leonard. Like, he's going to have to play above his level, and to win it, Will Howard, to me, has got to play below his level, or you just have disastrous plays, penalties, special teams errors to me, if Ohio State's somehow going to lose this game. Give me we'll just kind of package this all together. Run game, including the running backs and offensive line.
Oh. I'll go with Ohio State. They've been healthier. The 1-2 punch is different. I don't think they have a second. I don't think Notre Dame has a second guy that can compete with number one. But I mean, they both kind of got that home run hitter with 32 and I think it's 10. I think is that running back or something.
Yeah.
So I'll go Ohio State. That's probably the closest room, probably.
I think so too. Ohio State, they got some really heavy. They got two heavy hitters at that running back position. The only thing, if you want to give Leonard some credit, like he is the more mobile quarterback. Maybe Notre Dame can do something to kind of last game of the year. Like, I don't know. I don't feel good about their passing game versus Ohio State. Don't really feel.
Did you see what number 0 did against Tennessee against a mobile quarterback?
Yeah, maybe stay in the pocket and just throw it away.
you run if you want to. Good night.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna go with Ohio State as well. I will say though, I am curious to see if Notre Dame can move the ball. That is one of Penn State's strengths. Very good at stopping the run. So maybe this is a game where they can get it going a little bit, and they're gonna have to, I think, to just keep this game time of possession in your favor. Obviously, make sure you're at a tie or you got a lead before you start playing clock, but this is one where you hope they can unlock the run game, but I'm going with the Buckeyes. Let's go secondaries, defense.
I'll go Notre Dame.
I'm actually going to go Notre Dame too. We talked about it before. The corners, Ohio State. I'm not super high on it, but I do think the pass rush. We're talking about
even their safeties. Their safeties. I'm not high on Ohio State safeties as well. Like, you know, I couldn't tell you one guy's name in the secondary. Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. Like, I know the numbers. Couldn't tell you. You know, Notre Dame secondary, like they've been one of their best units, you know, on the team.
Mm-hmm. That's where that's brutal for a guy like Notre Dame and Leonard, because that's the area where I think you can take advantage of Ohio State. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the right quarterback and the right scheme to fully take advantage of it. So again, just more tough sledding. I'm super curious what offensive game plan does Notre Dame want to throw at Ohio State, because defensive line, talking the tackles, outside linebackers, I'm going Ohio State again.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to get the ball out quick. They're gonna have to kind of, you know, find certain matchups or create certain matchups that gives Ohio State nightmares. Like, you can't just go out there and just been running the same thing. Like, you got to dress some things up. You got to use motion a lot more. Tempo. You know, you got to change some things up a bit.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame, that's the whole offensively and defensively with them too. I think they're just going to have to, because I don't think they're going to be able to get pressure. So I think their best chance is going to be, let's throw a lot of just different coverages in the backfield to just hopefully get that extra split second. So Will Howard isn't so comfortable just throwing that thing downfield. I think that's probably the best way. You slow them down a little bit. Final thing, unfortunately, I think it's probably the biggest margin in terms of talent, wide receivers.
State.
Yeah, Buckeyes.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 first-round guys in that room probably.
Yeah, and the true freshman wasn't even supposed to be the guy this year. It's supposed to be Udoka, but my God, he's an animal.
Honestly, like, you kind of forgot about him, honestly, until these past couple of games, for real.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Nobody's really, you know, talking anything crazy about him. So, it's Ohio State, and it's not close.
No, I don't think so either. So just looking at Smith, he's got.
I seen somebody sent some. I think my cousin sent me a screenshot or a snap of his stats. I think he had 70 catches for 12 something and 14 touchdowns in his season. And his season was compared to Scary Terry, and I think Scary Terry had like same 70 catches for like a little over 1,000 and like 8 touchdowns or whatnot. Scary Terry was a number 3 receiver, but I mean, his senior year was probably his best year, which he kind of caught fire. But I mean, as a freshman to go out there and 14 touchdowns.
Yes, I got it right here. 71 receptions, 1,227 yards, average of 17.3 per reception, 14 touchdowns. 70 was the long. He's also got 5 carries for 52 yards. So again, he's going to average about 10.4 on the ground due to some good timing on the play calling too, I'm sure. And 1 touchdown with 19 yards being as long in the run game. So it's not like he just had one big run, averaging 19 with the 5 carries. And like, to your point, it just goes on and on. Like, this got guys everywhere. I mentioned it before, Udoka. He's got 75 receptions on the year, 947 yards. He's averaging 12.6 per reception, and 10 touchdowns on the year as well.
Yeah, good luck stopping that.
Like, that's just like the 2 guys. And then, if, worst case scenario, they got to go to the bench. It's just some more 5-star wide receivers that haven't had a chance to prove themselves yet, but I'm sure they're just as fast. So, with that being said, we'll wrap it up. Final score prediction. What do you got?
I got 35-21.
Okay. Yeah, I like Ohio State. I'm going to pull back on the offense just a little bit because I think there might actually be a little bit of pressure, but I do got Ohio State's defense just causing problems. We'll go Buckeyes 24-13. Irish only get 13 points on the day. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. On Monday, we will get to talk and preview a little bit about the college football championship between Notre Dame and Ohio State, as well as talk about the NFL playoff games that happen over the weekend. Don't go anywhere. What's Brewing? Chance Brewington up next. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always.